I think the Bills win, Jenna, and I think the Bills should have won the first game. I think they will win this game. I'm not a big believer in Buffalo, but I think they're better than the Patriots. And, Mike, I'm really interested in Mac Jones' mentality coming into the game. I mean, the fact of the matter is this. They were on a nice winning streak, I think a 7-game winning streak, going into the bye. But that last game before the bye, he obviously just threw the 3 passes, and it was all about the Patriots running the football. He then comes out after the bye, has his worst game since the Saints game, arguably his worst game of the year. They're shut out for 3 quarters. And then after the game, he had the really odd comments where he says they didn't practice well as a team and that they were feeling sorry for themselves, but they were off a bye and had won 7 in a row. So I don't know where Mac's head's at after the last 2 games from him with the bye sandwich in between. I know the Bills are desperate, and I think the Bills are going to say, we're going to let Josh Allen run the ball a lot more than they did, and I think they'll be successful in doing it, Mike.
Yeah, Nick, what I think Mac Jones meant to say was there's no need to feel sorry for themselves after the game against Indianapolis, if I'm not mistaken. But look, he said what he said. And, in regards to this game, I think the Patriots win it. I don't see them losing 2 in a row. I don't see the Buffalo Bills being able to come in and run the ball effectively for 4 quarters, and that's what it's going to take. Because New England's going to try to play ball control. They're going to keep it out of the hands of Mac Jones, allow him to throw the ball down the field here and there at times. But it's not going to be all about Mac Jones. Run the ball, play defense. I think that's what they do well at home. I think that's what it's going to be. And the Buffalo Bills have become too Josh Allen dependent. He's the run game, he's the pass game, and the connection with Stephon Diggs have not been there. It hasn't been there. So, they're a team that, while they're desperate right now and they need a win, I just don't think it's going to happen in Foxborough this week. I think the Patriots bounce back, and I think Mac Jones play well.
Well, thank you, Mike. I totally agree with you. And Mike has made another accurate prediction, a.k.a. the Madden legend, Mike Vick, as we just explained. So here's the thing. I think that we've got the emotional edge. Last year, Bills came in to Foxborough and broke a 13-game home winning streak of the Patriots. I think that still weighs on Belichick's mind, and I think it's still in the Bills' mind. I think it's still there. Like, you know what? We got lucky last year. We left with a win. They had a little, quarterback, issues, let's say. We weren't really solid, and the Bills got the win. But now it's a brand new year. I think the atmosphere is going to be crazy. And here's the thing. I think we're going to see a more balanced attack. I think there's going to be a lot more running, obviously, Broussard. But I don't think TBG is going to be out there throwing the ball 40 times. When we look at how many times he throws in wins versus losses,
TBG.
look at about 26 passes. That is perfect. If TBG does that, I think we're good. I think we walk away with a win, Broussard.
Well, first of all, it took me a few moments to figure out who TBG, the baby goat, was. But that's nice, Wildes. Look, Mike made some great points because obviously Diggs and Allen haven't been the same as they were last year. And they are all about Josh Allen offensively now. And I hope I'm wrong because, on this show, I like the Patriots. I picked them like Wildes to make the playoffs in the preseason. It's fun to talk about their resurgence and Bill Belichick,
sure.
Mac Jones. It's nice to talk about him being this nice, strong rookie. And even the baby goat nickname, if wildly overblown and unrealistic, it's cute. All right. So all that is nice, and I hope I'm wrong, but I'm going with Buffalo. I think Buffalo wins this game. Look, this is gut check time for the Buffalo Bills. To me, if they lose this game, you're going to keep playing, but you might as well just hang it up. Because the New England Patriots, with a rookie quarterback, and I get it, he only threw the ball 3 times. But Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson, they don't have big names on that offense. And they went into your place and bullied you. They took your lunch money and then said, what? And you didn't do anything about it. All right, this is the time the Buffalo Bills will prove we are either a legitimate contender or we're just some overrated chumps. Okay? They beat up on bad teams all year long. They're 1-5 against teams with winning records. Look at the teams with a worse record against plus 500 teams. None of them are any good. Who's the best? Philly? I mean,
Philly.
The good teams beat other good teams occasionally. But Buffalo is different in that regard. So they have got to prove to themselves, and I don't care what they say in the press conferences. I don't care what they say in the locker room when they're charging themselves up and getting psyched up and all that. In their psyche, deep down, they got to know we really haven't beaten many good teams. I mean, we beat Kansas City when they were struggling, but that's it. That, I think, is why they were so relieved and content, Mike, that they actually played Tampa Bay tough. Because that's about all they can do against good teams is play them tough. And so I think this is gut check time for the Bills. I think Josh Allen will be better with his legs and his arms. I think the defense will be better against the run. Mike, I've got Buffalo winning this game.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why you could pick Buffalo right now because it's desperation time. But for the Buffalo Bills, ever since they lost Tre'Davious White, the defense has looked different. It seems like that was so deflating to this team that they could never get their traction back going. And they've struggled a little bit, and they haven't beat any good teams. They beat a lot of bad teams, but this is the week that they got to get it all turned around. Unfortunately. It's a divisional game against the Patriots in Foxborough. And, the Patriots defense, they've endured a lot throughout the season. And last week they got embarrassed versus the Indianapolis Colts. So they're going to be trying to make amends, which is going to make the job harder for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. So, they're going to have to be on their A game. They got to run the football, set up play action, and see what comes out of that.
Listen, I agree with a lot of the criticisms of the Bills. The one thing I don't agree with is that the Bills' defense got embarrassed in their first matchup. They allowed 1 touchdown. They allowed 14 points. The Bills lost that game because their offense did not execute. Because Josh Allen played poorly, because the offensive game plan didn't involve nearly enough quarterback-designed runs. That's why they lost. Even though it was slightly blustery, if going into that game you told McDermott the Patriots are going to score 14, will you take it? He would have said yes. And I know that the Bills are going to be without MC anti-vax, and that could hurt them in the intermediate passing game. But I just flatly don't think, when we're talking about the Bills losing to great teams, the Patriots do not resonate to me on that level. And I do not think anyone outside of Patriot fans. Yeah, you're actually third in the AFC as of this morning, my friend. Titans game counted, just like the Patriots loss counted. After this game, you'll be fifth in the AFC, my friend. So don't worry about that. I got you, buddy. But more importantly, all these streaks, all this, oh my God, Buffalo hadn't won in Foxborough in 13 years. Yeah, they didn't beat Tom Brady on the road. A lot of people didn't. Those streaks are all irrelevant now. All those, the Patriots haven't done this, the Patriots haven't done that. Those are all Brady contingent streaks. That there's a reason they got snapped last year when they didn't have Brady. And so I don't think there's some big mental edge the Bills hang over the Patriots hang over the Bills as a whole, Jenna.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.